All right, welcome everyone. Like I said, there is some information in the chat if you haven't already seen it. Just an announcement about that this will be recorded and also a link to the Slido. Feel free to open that up already and enter your information. But I'm going to get started now with my introduction. And just so you know sort of how this workshop is planned, it's not, it's a little different than how we usually do our presentations where you're basically listening to a presentation. I would like this to be a time for you to really make some progress on your LinkedIn profile if the information is something that you can use today to sort of make some updates. So if you have, your LinkedIn already created and up at the same time, we're going to be using that about 5, 10, 15 minutes to do some actual work on it. All right. Let me know, just give me like a thumbs up if you can, in fact, see my presentation. Oh, and we're on the wrong page, but we'll get to the right one. All right. Okay, thank you. So I'm not doing full screen because I would like to see you at the same time. But I think everyone can see it okay. We are starting off our first week of a LinkedIn optimization session. You are more than welcome to join everyone. It's same time every Tuesday. Or, you can look, I tried to announce the topic beforehand so you can check and see, is this a topic that I need support with? Do I need to update this section of my LinkedIn, or do I already have it? I already know I don't need to. So just keep your eye out in our LinkedIn group or email for that announcement every week. And then once you sign up and register for one session, that same registration link is good for all the sessions. So you don't need to register every week again. And this week we are focusing on the basics, the first thing that you see on your profile, which is the banner on the top, your professional photo, and then I talked about headline, but most likely will not get to this because I realize that I'm always being a bit over ambitious with how much information we go over. So today we're mostly going to focus just on those two things. And I would love to know from all of you, and I did add those other two sections, but I would love to know from you, what section of your profile are you most interested in working on and learning about today out of those 4 topics? So if you could just take a moment to fill that out, and then we're going to look at it together to get a sense of where everyone is at. And was everyone able to see the link? The link to this is in our chat. All right. For anybody who is just joining us right now, we're just starting off today by filling out your most, let's say, area of interest. So there's a link in our chat where you can add what area of your profile are you most interested in learning about or updating.
Can there be some mistake in the site? There we answer questions because uh, I add in a headline, but I can see it in the result.
You can't
Yeah,
see the results.
I have the
Oh.
same problem because I chose adding a banner, but it didn't count anyway.
Okay.
It's the same with me. The same problem.
So here is we see only one person answer, but I answered two, and my answer was another. So maybe there is some error.
Yes, I believe so. Let's see. Let me edit it and see what happened. Create.
Actually, you need just to refresh your screen because after refreshing, there is adding a headline 63% and adding a banner just 25.
Yes,
so
I did.
On your phone or whatever gadget you're using.
Yes, I see that now. So I did add the option that you can choose more than one. If you have more than one section that you would like, but it should be okay now. How is it for everyone?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay. So yeah, I'm showing on my end what our results are so far, and we have for right now the most popular at adding a headline. So sorry for everyone who was looking forward to that. I can say a few words on it if we have time, but mostly we're going to be focusing on banner and photo today. All right. Thank you everyone for answering that question. It's always just good to see, since we have people coming in with different interests. All right. So like I said, today we are mainly focusing on the banner and a few words just on this section. And you can take this advice in general as well, that, you know, each part of your LinkedIn profile is, in a sense, like very valuable online real estate. It's your online CV, resume. And so you really want to take advantage of being able to use each part of it to reflect something that an employer or someone that you might want to network with would be able to understand what you're bringing to the table from that information. And I know that sometimes it might seem not important, like, well, why do I need to add this photo on the top? But if you think of that little space up there as one more piece of information that someone can learn something about you from, then it almost makes, it makes more sense, and it makes sense that you wouldn't want to leave that out. So the banner and the photo and the headline are sort of your first impression in that sense. And so they are important to use and to think about. I'm just going to check if anyone is in our waiting room still. No. The LinkedIn property, if we're using this concept, right, I always like to think about something more visually. That first door, again, is your banner, photo, headline, even if you're considering adding open to work, because this is something that someone can see about you without even clicking into your profile, because there's so much information that we are able to add. But what is the first thing that someone sees? People's attention spans are short nowadays, especially if you're thinking about how am I presenting to HR or a recruiter. Recruiters have very little time on their hands to make a lot of decisions. And so if they are looking at someone's profile and they're just looking at the picture and the banner and the headline, If that's not strong, they might, they might choose someone else over you. So we don't want that to happen. We want you to get all the opportunities based on all the great skills that you do have. So use that first impression wisely to market yourself and your skills, your industry, or your brand. And when I say brand, I don't mean that you have your own company. I just mean, what is your brand? Like, what are the skills you have? What are the experiences you have? That is still can be understood as your brand. All right. So adding a banner. I know I posted a little article about this earlier last week, but just to repeat, right, if you don't have a banner yet, I do strongly encourage you to add one. Right now, this is an example of just the generic thing that pops up automatically. It's not unique. It doesn't catch my eye, but most importantly, it doesn't tell me anything about you, right? If let's say someone named Emily has this, and I quickly want to understand what her specialty is, right? Or what her field is. I don't know anything from that. So adding a unique banner is a great way to give people visual information. As you know, we are all moving more and more towards a visual understanding of information. So you want to use that to your advantage. In these examples, you can see there's a couple different ways to do that, right? You can add like the name of your area. In this case, this upper left-hand side, it says sales, marketing, and strategy. This person also has a picture of them engaging in whatever activity, I think, yeah, some marketing activity. The next one over is just a cityscape, right? It's not clear what city, but still we understand, okay, this is someone who lives in a city, and it still gives information about you. It's more general, and that's fine, but it's still some type of information. And then the bottom one, we have more like a minimalist sort of workstation picture. This is another great option, is just to show what does your workstation look like. And this picture is not probably even, this is just an image online that this person used. So I'm not saying like you have to take a picture of your desk. Like my desk right now is not so visually pleasing, but this is just one option, your workspace, one option that you can choose. And then lastly, right here, we have the option of choosing something that's related to your industry, right? This maybe signifies coding, or if you're in education, maybe there would be a picture related to the classroom. So you can also think about an image related to your profession, to your industry, to your daily activities at work. So choosing a banner, like I said, can spread some awareness about who you are, show your location, your industry, and your skills. This is just one more example, kind of including this person's mission as someone who has their own company. Of course, you can also add a quotation that resonates with you and your mission, even if, like I said, even if you're looking for a job at a company, you don't have your own company still, you can use a quote to share something about your beliefs or about your mission. So I wanted to show you two places that can help you create a unique and professional looking banner. The first one is Canva, and I'm going to stop sharing and actually hop over to Canva. There is a free version that you can use, and I believe that it's very user-friendly. I've just started to use it more the past year, myself, and I just feel like it's very intuitive and it doesn't take long to figure out how to use. So if you go to Canva, and you feel free when I send that presentation to just use that link. But actually, I will also put it in our chat. So they have a whole section on Canva that allows you to create your own template. So let's just take a look at that together. So at the top, right, you can even, so they have transitioned now to AI supported, let's say, functions. Anyone who was at our webinar last week on AI, so a lot of companies are going in that direction. So you actually don't even have to create your own whole thing from scratch. You can use 5 words to describe your design. You can also go here to filters, and this is something, I think this is maybe the easiest way, is that you choose your style: professional, corporate, minimalist, clean, elegant, for example. Let's just try minimalist. And then you can also choose your feature. I wouldn't recommend animation or video. It's not really necessary. You can choose your theme. So based on your industry, if you're in, let's say, advertising, right, then there's a whole subset of options designed for advertising, technology, sales, website. So let's just, for an example, choose advertising, right? And then it's going to filter. You can also choose your colors that you prefer. But once you find one that you like, right, you're going to just click on it. Pay attention though at the top. This one says Pro. That means it is not free. So we do, unless you have a Pro account, we want to go with the free versions. This one, for example, is free. So I can just double click and oops. Once I click on it, I am able to customize, right? So my internet is a bit slow, but once you basically press customize, it's going to open a whole new window with your it's going to open a new window where you can just delete and add your own information. Phone number, email. Again, this is optional. You do not ever have to put your personal information on your LinkedIn. I actually might not even recommend it unless it's something that's important for you. But you can even delete whole sections, right? And you don't even have to put your name. So as you can see, this option, replace as current page, this option, right, mostly has a job title. It doesn't have your name. So it's really up to you. Just, I would recommend browsing through the different options, see what you like, see what suits your needs best, and go with that. If you look at my profile, I just have a photo that I took, right? So that's another option. I have a photo from a neighborhood that I lived in, and that's what I ended up using. But if you would like to use these creators, you are more than welcome to do that as well. The other platform that I also recommend for this, and I have not used it myself, is Microsoft Bing. I'll also drop that link in our chat. And it's a similar concept, right? You're creating your banner using sort of this AI generated information. Here it is. Here's what it looks like. So you're going to describe what you'd like to create. In this case, we're doing a LinkedIn banner. Maybe we want it a business style. Oh, we have to join. Okay, I haven't joined, so it probably won't work for us now. But this is just another tool that you can use. Any questions so far on those platforms for creating a unique banner?
Hello.
Hi.
Can we use something like a slogan, for example, eco-friendly, I don't know, mindful, something that maybe gives some image of what job you're looking for or what person you are?
Yes, that's a really great comment. So I think definitely that would count as part of your image or part of your sort of marketing strategy, is to say something about your mission or what you care about. So definitely like a slogan or a statement about that would definitely be something that's appropriate. Is that your industry that you work in as well?
Yeah. No, but I'm looking for something that can, for some jobs that can influence society, help, for example, Ukrainian refugees. So maybe I think that maybe I should put some slogan right in the beginning so that that recruiters can see from the beginning how they can what can they offer or what they can't. I'm sorry.
No problem. Yes, yeah, I agree for sure. I would just, my only comment and thing to be careful of is if you go too specific in your slogan, it might create an impression that that's your very specific specialty. So maybe just if it's not, keep things on the general side so that you're keeping yourself flexible and open to many opportunities. So if you had like a quote about the environment, someone might think, oh, this person only is looking for a position working on, let's say, environmental cause. Anyone else?
Yeah, actually, I never worked with Canva. So can we just save this file as an image, JPEG or something like that? Yeah, and after that, just post it to LinkedIn page.
Yes, right? Yes. Thanks for that question. It will give you, once you've basically edited as much as you want and you're done with your image, it will give you on the right-hand side a few different options for the download. And for this, I would probably recommend the JPEG option because it will give you PNG or PDF. And I think for LinkedIn, the easiest one that you can work with is the JPEG. And it will also give you options for quality. So just make sure that you're downloading it at the quality that's high enough for it to be like a clear image. And then once you have it on your desktop or wherever, you can upload it directly to LinkedIn.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so let's continue onwards and have a little bit of time to actually work on this. So the first thing you want to do is decide, if you don't already have a banner, decide on what type of banner you want. Like I said, we have a range of different options. And this is a personal decision that you will make. Choose your photo, design, or graphic on one of these platforms, or maybe you have a photo that's of high quality that you would like to use. Upload it, and then if you would like feedback, you can, for today, you can just like write to me on the chat, or even better, if I don't get to it, write to me on LinkedIn to check. So, and in the case that you already have one and you don't need to work on this, I would recommend still like just thinking about, does what I have now really increase my visibility? Does it increase my value? What does this image say about me? you might, consider updating it. Or if you just want feedback, please let me know. So we're going to take, I'm going to go between 5 and 10 minutes. We're going to take, let's say, 7 minutes to just work on this. You can begin to create your Canva account, the free one, and look at what designs you see there. You can message me on LinkedIn for feedback. Whatever you need to do for yourself to make progress on this for the next 5 to 7 minutes, and then we will come back and continue. Before we kind of go, and you're welcome to go off, if you're on camera, you can go off camera. Any questions before we take our workshop time? And you can always, we're going to be in their group, but feel free to unmute yourself as you're doing things and ask questions, because those questions might be helpful for the group as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to set my timer and I will see you all back here in 7 minutes. People forget to update a photo. Let's say it was from, I don't know, 7 years ago, and now you have a completely different hair color, right? So you want to choose a photo that is up to date so that it looks like you, or, it has a high quality. So think about, is it a recent photo? And then another thing to consider not doing is like a photo that is too personal. Some people, if you have children, they shouldn't be in the photo. It should just be of you and just you in like a neutral professional setting. In the past, when I've taken a photo, I've just asked a friend to take it, even just on my phone, right? Nowadays, the phone photo quality is high enough. You don't need to get a professional photo, but do think about the lighting. Maybe just stand, if you're at home, stand against a wall that is a neutral color. In terms of light, right, make sure that your face is lit, that maybe there's a window in front of you that's adding some light to your face. I hope that in the future, I can't promise you, but if you still need a very professional photo in the spring, early spring, last time I was in Warsaw, we did a quick like photo session for people, because I'm also a photographer. So if that, I'll let you know if that happens, and you'll get another option for a professional photo. But for now, ask someone to take it for you. You don't ideally want to have a selfie because, as you know, right, the angle is different. It's hard. So just ask a family member or a friend to do it for you. Any questions about choosing a photo?
No, actually, it's quite clear.
Okay, Sounds good. I think it is pretty self-explanatory. Let's just take 2 minutes now. If you do need to update, just start thinking about what options you have. Do you have a photo in your library? Do you need to reach out to someone to ask to take a photo? Where would this photo be taken? Does anyone want to share any comments about the photo that they already have or the photo that they might want to add?
Actually, after this webinar, this lesson, I will definitely change my photo in my profile because yeah, I evaluate it now. And actually, it's not. First of all, it's old because I changed, and it's not correct. Not correct background, not correct light, and without something like sincere smile.
Great. Yeah. And, I think it's also sometimes like a cultural thing. Like Americans are really kind of smiley, and maybe it feels weird for you to have like this really happy photo on your LinkedIn. But I think it does, yeah, it just adds an extra benefit to you. Yeah, and again, if you would like any feedback on your photo or banner, just because when we end the call, the chat section will go away. So please send that request to me in LinkedIn. And if we're not connected already, here is my profile. Is there anyone who would be a volunteer to get feedback for the group so we can sort of learn from you? Does anyone feel comfortable with that? And that's fine if you don't. I know it's very personal. So yeah, if you have written to me, I will definitely give you feedback on those 2 sections of your profile on LinkedIn. Thanks, Katerina. If you can also send that request to me, I'm going to open up the profile, but send that request to me on LinkedIn. That's helpful. And then where are we? Yeah, I'm not going to take this because we're running a little short on time. But again, that worksheet in the Google Drive also helps you to decide, right? Is this picture actually at the quality that I want it to be, right? So it's going to ask you it's going to have a few check boxes, what to check for. Is it clear? Is there a good background? Just so we can basically do some quality control on our profiles. And finally, what we have time for left for today is adding the open to work option on your, like basically the circle that includes your photo. There are 2 places though that information goes. So I'm going to show you on my profile, but basically you're going to click that section below, as you can see in this photo, and you're going to choose open to. When you do that, when you do that, why is my computer doing this? When you do that, you're going to actually have 2 options, and this is an important difference to decide for yourself. Do you want that open to work visible for anybody who goes to your profile, or do you only want it visible to recruiters and companies? And if you have it on your picture, obviously it will be visible to everyone. So there's a couple scenarios where maybe you don't want it visible. For example, sometimes we are still working in a company, but let's say your contract is ending in 1 month, or this is a company in Ukraine and you want to work for a company in Poland, it might not be the best if someone from your company sees this, right? I don't know how culturally it is, but in the US, like until you announce your 2-week departure, you know, you don't want a company to find out that you're leaving before you tell them. So in that case, I wouldn't recommend to have it on your photo. But if right now you're open to work and there's nothing, right, that you have to hide about that to anyone, then that's a good option. So let's switch over to the LinkedIn just to quickly look at what does that look like if you're doing it. And I think a lot of you I've seen, because I've been going through profiles to do some review, and I think that a lot of you already have that. So that's good. We can talk more next week about the advantage also of doing it. You know, I think like anything, it's an option. It's an option to show someone quickly, I'm looking for work, more so for the network that you have than for recruiters. Some people say it's, you know, neutral. It doesn't help, but it doesn't negatively impact. And so I would just say it's your personal decision if, right, that's something that you, I think, would help to just show that you are open to work. Okay, so I wanted to go to my profile. And like any platform, LinkedIn becomes easier the more that you navigate and use it, because you're going to start understanding just how to update certain sections faster. So here we are on my profile. And you should immediately see this open to button. All right. And I currently, because I work on the weekend sometimes, I have open to, but not in my professional field that you know me in. So you can have open to in all kinds of ways. But my point is that when you press this, right, you have the two options, providing services or hiring. You always want to, in your case, choose providing services. And it's going to ask you some questions. I have a premium account, so I'm not sure if this is different for you, but when you press continue, right, you're going to add your services. And you have a lot of information that you can select: location, pricing. So this, again, this might look slightly different for you. But if everyone could go onto if you would like to add open to work, but you haven't already, if you can now, oh, we're ending time. So I thought we had more time. To close off, do we have questions about the open to work option, how to do it or why to do it? All right.
Actually, it's clear. We have the same, you know, mentality and some when people are not ready to announce they are going to change their job, their position, so it would be like, what is it? Why didn't you tell me? And something like that. So of course, yeah, I think in Ukraine and in Poland also, if you are working for some company, it's better, and you want to change it, it's better to at least do it visible just for recruiters, because yeah, it's unpolite, at least for the company, for colleagues where you're working now.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't want to be getting a message from your colleague, oh, I didn't know you're leaving the company. So yeah, that's just a little side note. Again, if anyone would like in the meantime, before our next meeting, feedback on these sections that we focused on, you're welcome to message me. Next week. We will be going over to the headline and a few other sections. Because this is the first time that we're doing it this way and that I'm creating sort of this workshop template, I would also love if anyone can volunteer to share what, and you can also email me this if you feel more comfortable. How was the format for you? Do you prefer to work on these things in your own time, or is it good to have 5 or 10 minutes during our session? Because like I said, this is new and I'm open to changing it or updating it to make it more useful for you.
Let me express my opinion.
Sure.
Matter of fact, some of this activity, changing background photo or banner, headline, everything like this, it requires some some time. You need to sit, think, review a couple of templates, and during the session, it's not like it's not very suitable, but what is important is just to show step by step how can we do it, and that's it. We can do it on our own time, when we can spend not just 5 or 10 minutes, but maybe an hour, something like that, because some people just like me, I can't just put whatever I found and just put it just to try. I'd like to try already prepare it, some picture. I'd like to try to change colors, themes, and something like that. But it's very important to know step by step how can we do it. And thanks a lot you for this, because it's very useful. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's thank you for that feedback. I think it's helpful since I'm not doing those actions, right? It's hard for me to gauge, is this helpful? Is it not helpful? How much time? So maybe one option is still to brainstorm, to think, but not to actually do the update, so that you have your time and peace and you don't feel rushed in that activity, because it is these technical updates do just take time to think about. And yeah, Volha, did you have something to share?
Yes, I also wanted to comment on this question that in some of your lessons, it may happen that we need to try to download something or to change something on our LinkedIn option, and only while doing it, we discover that we don't know, for example, how to push this button or how to switch something. For example, today with Bozhena, we were working on LinkedIn, and I found out that I even can't change my address, because it happened that when you change two lines at a time, it doesn't work. You need to make one changes of one line, then push the button save, then again turn back to editing and change second line. So sometimes some problems or questions appear when we do something. So it depends on what kind of changes we need to do on profile.
Yeah, no, that's also very helpful, because there is a difference between a multi-step process where you have to make a decision and maybe a slower process versus, like you said, Volha, just pressing the section on your profile, navigating to the right area and doing like one quick update. So that's very helpful, and maybe we will keep that time to do those kinds of things, and then things that take a little more of your reflection and time, you can hopefully do it after the session. All right, thanks everyone. I know we are over time. Thank you for joining today, and looking forward to see you on our next session. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.